The Thule Landmark 40 litre is a carry-on size backpack that's designed specifically for traveling around the world that we've been excited to review for a little while now, especially considering how well the Thule Subterra 34 litre, which is one of our top rated packs, performed in testing. Hey, I'm Nathan from Pack Hacker, where we use our expertise and real-world experience to provide practical resources and honest opinions, guiding you towards smarter travel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. We've been testing the Thule Landmark 40 litre nearly every day for just over 3 weeks now, so let's dive into the review and find out how well it performed. Just a note before we get right into it, the Thule Landmark is available in both a 60 litre and a 70 litre version as well. They're pretty similar, however those versions come with a detachable daypack on the front. It's not our kind of thing, as we're typically focused on one bag carry-on travel, but if it's your style, then be sure to take a look. And a lot of what we'll cover in this review will translate as well. Additionally, each size of the Thule Landmark, including this 40 litre version, is available in both a men's and a women's fit, with the differences being slight changes in the harness system and the way it carries. And we really like that Thule has made the decision to do this. With its sleek and streamlined Scandinavian aesthetic, we're digging the overall look of the Thule Landmark. However, it does lose a few points in a couple of areas. The first one being the hard-shelled safe zone at the top of the bag. We just think it looks a little bit odd. And secondly, this front area here, the fabric can kind of slouch a little bit and become a little bit creased even when it's fully packed out. As always though, we decided to ask our Instagram audience what they thought of the look of this pack, and here are the results. When it comes to colours, the Thule Landmark is available in Obsidian and Dark Forest for the men's version, and then Dark Bordeaux and Majolica Blue for the women's version. While we would have liked all 4 colours to have been available across both the men's and women's versions, we do like the muted tones, and darker colours typically perform better as travel bags because they hide scuffs and marks better. Moving on, the branding is typical Thule, where they've thrown their logo on the front, just like all of their other gear we've tested. It's fairly minimal and we like it. Additionally, there's a small logo on the shoulder strap as well. Now it's time to take a look at the materials, and we'll start with the 2 different fabrics used on the outside of the pack. Thule has gone with 420D Dobby polyester on the front and 600D polyester on the bottom and back of the bag. Compared to other travel packs on the market, these are 2 relatively thin materials. And while polyester isn't necessarily bad, we typically prefer nylon as it's stronger. And while the Landmark is holding up okay for now, apart from a few scuffs on the top of the safe zone area, let's remember that this bag is designed to be hauled around from country to country. And in all honesty, we'd have liked to have seen something a bit better. For instance, the 800D nylon used on the Thule Subterra 34 litre is one of the best we've tested to date, and we'd have loved to have seen it on this pack. Finally, moving on to the hardware, Thule hasn't cut any corners here, as they've gone with YKK zippers and Duraflex buckles. This is great to see, as both of these manufacturers make some of the best hardware available, and they've always performed well in our testing to date. Moving on to the external components, let's kick things off with the harness system. The adjustable shoulder straps are curved and densely padded, which is great, but we have found the side of the straps to be a little bit hard. While they don't necessarily dig in, they could certainly be improved for a more comfortable fit. The back panel is padded and stiff, so it's comfortable and it won't slouch down your back either, but there's very little ventilation. While this isn't a huge problem and back sweat is pretty much inevitable in most instances, just be wary if you're traveling anywhere hot and humid. Now when it comes to additional features, the Thule Landmark comes with a detachable sternum strap, which unfortunately is a little bit too detachable. While it works well when locked in, we're constantly fearful that it's going to fall off when it's not, which has happened on a couple of packs we've tested with similar sternum strap attachments. The Thule Landmark also has a hideable hip belt, which is padded and helps a ton when this pack is fully loaded up, shifting most of the weight from your shoulders to your hips. It is hideable, and that's a great feature, but we will note when each side is pushed all the way in, it can bulk up and dig into your lower back. The shoulder straps on this thing are also hideable, which is another nice touch, and the whole system is slick and easy to do. Overall, the Thule Landmark carry is okay, but it's certainly nothing special for a one-bag travel pack that will see a ton of use, with you potentially having to carry it for very long periods of time when you're on the road. Moving on, there are a couple grab handles on this thing on the top and right hand side of the pack. Now, these aren't particularly comfortable and they're not that well padded, but they are easy to grab a hold of, and the top one will come in handy when you want to hang this thing up, and the side one can be really useful when you're having to get this bag down from an overhead bin on an airplane. Finally, the zippers have a few nifty features that allow you to attach these zipper pulls to the outside of the bag. The safe zone zippers at the top of the pack can be looped around a small attachment point, and the main compartment zipper pulls can be secured by passing one of the buckles through them and securing it in place. Now, neither of these features will stop a thief from gaining access to your bag if they really wanted to, but it's certainly a huge deterrent for anyone quickly trying to get inside. And it's important to note that the main compartment zippers have a hole through which you can pass a padlock through, so they're completely secure. Moving inside the pack, there's no better place to start than with the safe zone compartment at the top, which has been specifically designed to hold your valuables, and because of the hard-shelled exterior, will keep them safe from getting crushed as well. On the side of the top flap, there is a mesh compartment that you can easily stick your hand in and grab stuff out of, and additionally, there's a couple of pen holders on top, which can be really handy. On the other side of the compartment, you do have to undo a zipper to gain access, which is a bit time consuming, but inside you'll find 2 additional mesh sleeves and a key clip too. We're digging the thinking here from Thule, and we're always excited to see bag manufacturers try new things. However, for us, it's just not that necessary, and we think it looks a little bit odd. However, depending on your use case, this could be a great feature. Moving down the side of the pack, there is a sleek side water bottle pocket that's hidden away by a zipper. We really dig side pockets like this, and this is one of the best ones we've encountered to date. It can be really useful when you need to use it, otherwise you wouldn't even know it's there when it's not in use. Now, let's take a look inside the main compartment. But to do this, you first have to undo all 4 buckles and unzip the entire front of the bag. And to be honest, this whole process is a bit too time consuming for our liking, but you do get a little quicker as you get used to the bag. Once you're inside, it's basically one large bucket, and it's a great place to throw all of your gear into. We'd highly recommend using packing cubes and pouches inside this large compartment, but there are compression straps to hold everything down if you don't want to. On the top flap, there is a zippered mesh sleeve, which is good for holding smaller and flatter gear that you don't want moving around inside the larger compartment. And then there's also a covert cash stash pocket that's hidden at the top of the compartment. And you really wouldn't know it's there if you weren't told about it, which is the exact point. While this is a great place to put your cash and your passport, just remember that the access isn't that quick. So if you're going through an airport, we'd recommend keeping your passport within easier reach. Finally, there's a laptop compartment at the back of this bag. Inside, there's enough room for a 15-inch laptop with a sleeve on, which is really great. And there's even a pocket for a tablet too that's big enough for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And the laptop compartment here finishes about an inch above the bottom of the bag, so if you drop this thing, it's not going to harm your laptop, which is a really great feature. At the time of this review, we've been testing the Thule Landmark 40 litre for 3 weeks. The components and build quality are all great, which is exactly what we'd expect from Thule. However, the thin polyester, which makes up most of the exterior of this pack, is a little bit worrying, especially considering we found some scuffs and marks already after only 3 weeks of use on the top safe zone compartment of this pack. Additionally, there's a small piece of stitching at the bottom of the laptop compartment that the zipper keeps on getting stuck on, which is a tad frustrating and a sign of wear. In testing, we found the Thule Landmark 40 litre to be a welcome addition to the adventure travel backpack market, competing directly with the likes of Osprey Farpoint, Osprey Fairview, and the Eagle Creek Global Companion. However, while there are some nifty features that may be super handy depending on your use case, we were unfortunately left wanting just a bit more from a brand that has otherwise excelled with its other products that we've tested to date. Moving into the pros and cons, the hip belt distributes weight well and it's hideable too. The safe zone compartment can protect your valuable gear, and the side water bottle pocket is sleek and practical. Now the cons, we have scuffs and marks already appearing on the fabric. The sternum strap can fall off when it's not locked in, and access to the safe zone and the main compartment can be a bit too time consuming for our liking. The Thule Landmark 40 litre has a lot of great stuff going on. We like that it's available in both a men's and a women's fit. The safe zone compartment is a really interesting concept, and the sleek zippered side water bottle pocket is a nice addition too. Plus, it's from a great brand that we've had a lot of positive experiences with. However, there's certainly a few things going on that we're a tad disappointed with. The exterior fabric could be harder wearing, the access to the compartments is more time consuming than we'd expect, and the carry could definitely be more comfortable. Nevertheless, we've enjoyed testing Thule's first foray into the adventure travel market, and it's a bag that's certainly worth considering. So there you have it, our review of the Thule Landmark 40 litres. And as ever, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this pack in the comments below. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.